Welcome to another episode of Across the Drape, where real-life anesthesiologists give us real insight into life in private practice. Joining me today is one of my favorite and most energetic people that I've ever met, Dr. Stephen Sarmiento. Welcome.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, so you serve in multiple leadership roles. You are heavily involved in TSA, ASA, huge advocate for physicians, anesthesia, all that jazz. How do you do it? Because I know a little secret about you.
Oh, do
that
you?
Some may not know. And
I don't want to know what you know.
When you are not being a leader or a physician, you are traveling the world. And I don't mean Idaho. I mean Sicily. Where else have you been? France.
Well, I guess between last year, this year, I mean, Japan, Paris, London, southern Italy, Sicily, Croatia,
Okay, we get it.
Canada.
Yeah, we get it. Okay, so how do you do it? How do you balance all of those things? Because you're either out of the country or you're heavily focused on being an advocate or being a physician. Like, where's the middle line? Like, how do you do that?
I think you've got to put yourself 100% into all of it, right? When
Okay.
you're at work, you need to do all you can to take the best care of all of your patients, to do the best job you can to serve everyone in this profession.
Yeah.
And then when you're away, when you're not here, not in the state, not in the country, you go all out and you just experience the best that the world has to offer you. There's so much to see out there. And it wasn't until the past couple of years that I really had the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've seen so much just in the past year or two that I've never seen before. And I'm all about new experiences.
So what triggered that for you? Like, what made you say, it's time to see the world?
I think it was coming to the realization that I just hadn't seen a lot.
Yeah.
I think I had left the country one time as an infant, and it wasn't until 3 years ago that I actually traveled outside of the country again. And now I know there's this whole world outside that I need to explore. And I think being in Dallas is a great part of this group because from DFW Airport, you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
You can
We
go
make it
anywhere in the
easy for
world.
you to travel
It is
the
easy.
world.
I can be post-call, leave at 7 a.m. from work, and I can drive to the airport, and I can be anywhere in the world. And that is a very, very unique position to be in.
So we have a joke internally about where in the world is Stephen Sarmiento. It's like, you know that old show, Carmen Sandiego?
Oh, where in the world is Carmen
Stephen
Sandiego?
Sarmiento. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Because you're always jet setting. And it's nice to look at that. You know, Instagram is a different world. But the reality is you're actually living that. But people can see that and think, oh, he travels so much, it must be nice. But I know you and I know your work ethic. And I know that when you are here, you are completely throwing yourself
I'm
into
completely
patient
present
care.
when I'm
Yeah.
here.
It's amazing.
Right?
Yeah. So I think you've really nailed it when it comes to work hard, play hard. And you kind of define that, in my opinion. So what advice would you give to residents? I mean, they're ending their residency. They're going to join a group, whether it's private practice or not. What advice do you give to them when it comes to learning how to develop hobbies outside of medicine early on and not burning yourself out on work too fast?
Right. I think it's really important as you're finishing residency to realize that it's all on you eventually, right? You're used to working under your attending as a resident, but once you're there alone in the OR, you really need to be able to put your best foot forward. You need to be able to perform in even the most stressful situations. And I think that's what people really need to focus on as they're finishing residency, knowing that they need to be on their A game because it's all you. Now, outside of work, I think it's important to realize that this doesn't define you as a person, right? This is not your entire life. There's family life, there's the hobbies, there's everything outside of there. And you need to really set aside time to make that a priority in your life. Otherwise, you can let all these other things consume you. So I think making sure you set aside time for that is one of the most important things. I mean, there are things I'd like to get into but haven't had time to. Right? I bought this grand piano that I can't really play very well because I haven't set aside the time to make that a priority in my life. So that I think that's how you approach that.
I think that's so well said. And the truth is, I mean, so I've been with Metro for 15 years and I've seen this evolution of physicians back in the day let being a doctor define who they were. That was their identity, and that was just kind of the norm. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But definitely as times have changed and we have evolved as a society, it has become just so important that you do not let it define who you are.
Right.
Because we're finding that when you do, that's what leads to burnout more often, because you just kind of work, and you never set aside time for yourself. So I think it's really important to encourage people to develop hobbies outside of medicine.
And do you think, very forward thinking, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 years down the road, what do you do?
Yeah.
Right? Realistically, you can't practice clinically forever.
Right.
What are you going to do after that?
It's kind of like parents that send their kids off to college and they haven't done hobbies or created anything for themselves. And you talk about empty nest syndrome, and they're just like, I don't know who I am. You can't let that happen. And it's the same with your profession, whether you're a physician or you're in other fields.
Any profession, any job, anything.
You have to be well-rounded and know that you are so much more than just this one thing.
Right. No one can be a one-trick pony.
Absolutely. So when you're not jet-setting the globe, tell me what your perfect day is. Whether you're post-call or it's just a Saturday, like, where are you going? What's on your agenda? What's your playlist? Like, what vibe do we have?
My perfect day? Get on a plane, go somewhere I've never been before.
I know, but I want to know when you can't do that. What are you doing that's fun? Is it grocery shopping? Is it mowing your lawn?
There is
like,
something
what is
to be
it?
said for going to a mall at 11 in the morning on a weekday.
And
when
power
there's
walking?
nobody there. When there's nobody there.
Yes.
I don't have to buy anything. I don't have to
God,
buy
I
a
love that.
pair of Gucci loafers,
But you
which
could.
I might have done. But I don't have to do that. You can go to the mall. You can walk around. You can browse. You can peruse. You can try things on.
And people aren't bothering you.
and
That's what I love.
It's not crowded. You can find a parking space at North Park.
That's the most amazing thing.
It's the simple things.
God.
It's the simple things that are enjoyable.
I mean, tell me you're an adult
you can
without
go to the
telling me
food
you're an
court
adult.
and just
Jeez.
have a meal alone.
Yes, in
It's
peace.
the simple things.
Give
It's
me
the
a
simple things.
witch sandwich
I
and
don't
no
need
company.
to spend a lot of money on a lunch or fancy things. I can go to the food court and have a lunch just sitting there in peace.
I love
and
it.
then go try on a pair of shoes. That's
And maybe buy
that's a
them.
great day. That's a great. It's the beauty and simplicity.
Yeah, of getting to do what you want.
Absolutely.
So, whether you decide to jet set or go to the mall and power walk the malls in the morning, how do you decide where to put your energy for the day? Do you ever feel kind of this guilt of, I've been working a lot, so I need to do X, Y, and Z around the house? Or do you feel pretty good about, I can do whatever I want, and if I want to work on the house, I can. If I want to mow the lawn, I can. But if I want to go to the mall, I don't have any qualms about that.
I always have a running task list of to do things on my phone.
Okay.
And I feel like I have to check some of those off.
Okay.
Whether that's work stuff outside of work or stuff around the house or little tasks I need to do. I have to at least accomplish that.
Yeah.
And then I let my energy guide me to what I need to do that day. Or
I love it.
just you get a text from friends, hey, do you want to do dinner tonight? You let those external factors guide you.
Absolutely. Trending topic, physician burnout, right? It's everywhere. I'm sure even you, someone who travels the world and works, can attest to experiencing some form of burnout, right?
I think so. And I think that goes for everyone in the healthcare profession. Yeah.
But do you think that people who are very conscious and aware of how they spend their time and have hobbies and travel or whatever the thing is that makes them happy, do you feel like they're able to balance that better? And do you think it helps prevent a certain level of burnout that maybe you could have reached faster if you didn't take time for yourself?
I think so. I think realizing that there is a life outside of work is what can help prevent that from happening. And it's not a cure-all. And I wouldn't say that, oh, let's have meditation rooms and yoga. And maybe that works for some people.
Yeah.
But everyone has to define and find what their form of that is.
Absolutely.
Right? That does not fit for everyone.
No.
So I remember in residency when, people wanted to do certain things to mediate burnout, and I just realized that doesn't work for everybody.
I know.
Everyone has to come up with their own definition of what that means. Right? That's a very individualized thing.
Yes. And I love that because I try to preach that so much when we go chat with residents and give presentations. It's just like this buzzword of work-life balance and culture and burnout even. There's no one definition. Right. And the reality is that you have to be self-aware enough to know, what do I need to feel fulfilled and successful, and like I'm working really hard, but I'm playing really hard, and that's good for me. And how do I find a group that allows me to do that?
Right.
So with that said, what advice do you give to residents when they're interviewing to try to find out certain aspects of the group to know what would fit with their lifestyle?
I think one of the biggest things that I've even told people who come to interview with us is that regardless of where you end up, when you go to your interview at whatever place you decide to go check out, you have a feeling when you leave that day, right? Yeah. You have a feeling after meeting certain people, seeing certain places, experiencing certain things, whether that's your interview dinner, whoever brought you around for the interview, the people that you meet at the hospital. Yeah. Go off your gut feeling. Yeah. You just know what's right and you know what's not right.
What did you say to me? What did you say when you interviewed?
I remember being in your car when we were traveling from one site to another. Yeah. And I was like, Crystal, I found my people.
And you did. You said it in that weird whisper voice where I was like, I don't know what to do with this. I think that's good.
I think that it's a good thing. It's, as Martha Stewart would say, it's a good thing. It is a good thing, yes. Right? Because when you go somewhere and you get that vibe,
you know,
the ick vibe,
you know.
If you know, you know. If you know that this is not the place to be, don't go there. Yeah.
Please don't go there.
And I don't know how to tell you that, but you just know.
Yes.
You internally know this is not the place for you. Yep. And maybe that's the place for someone else. Yeah. Right? You just got to feel it out.
Absolutely.
And it's hard sometimes when you don't really get to see across the drape to what's going on behind there.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Across the Drape. Until next time, count back from 100.